And welcome to Beyond the Rift. I'm your host, Steven Machine. This is my co-host, Travel.
Yo.
And we're going to run through the quick news of the week in a quick fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, hold on. Big deep breath.
Take a breath.
Take a breath. Draft mode for rank is coming. Friends list to show what game mode and link to play is coming. Welcome to... You will get region selection. They will get that done eventually. This is all high-res stuff. The ELO cap will be instituted, and they will also do a reset on the ELO, making normal ELOs where you go from normals to ranked. You can no longer go above 2,000 and get into ranked at like 4K or anything stupid. New game mode being made, a capture and hold type thing. Let's see, there's Baccus is coming up. Of course, God leveling, we're talking like runes and stuff. We're not sure if it's FACEDESK or if it might be cool. Who knows? We'll find out. Also, with the patch notes, some things that haven't been released yet, which is Thor's hammer now gives him a teleport where he can throw it, hit his one again, and go, poof! Here I am! And be all up in your face. And then matchmaking improvements and changes.
Good job. Good job.
Oh. There we go. So now I'd like to make a correction to my SMITE news. Girth Gaming didn't disband. They just dropped 2 of them, and that were in Europe because the European people apparently are just not good enough. Just kidding. So they're going to be a more North American-based team, so they are looking for 2. If you happen to be one of those 2 people, then you can apply to try for them. Pon Pon Wei Wei and them like to do tryouts. So please do try that. Team Sponsor Us got sponsored by Procore Gaming, which is kind of and they did that, so congratulations to them. Yay. And Team Juice got picked up by Blight Gaming. Woo. Congratulations to them as well. Whew. Community changes, or community news. SMITE subreddit has a bad layout, and they want suggestions on how to improve it. Please do go there and find out what you can do to make them improve it. The BLG ladder system is done, and we will talk about that later in the show. That thing. I was going to say later in the system.
What are we doing here?
The WOGL All-Star voting is going on right now, so please do go vote for KO. I mean, whoever you would like to vote for. And, go for that. The high-res matchmaking stuff, that is a very terrible note, sir. Okay, and that's about that. So now we will join our lovely guest of smokers, which, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Oh, we're not the majority.
Math,
damn it.
not your thing.
No, it's not. Counting neither.
No,
so we will join our guests and stuff like that. We have a very full house tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And anybody
Yes,
who would like to turn on their webcams, Lionheart, can do that. But you can see all their names. Do I really need to introduce everybody? Come
Yes.
Okay.
But in order to introduce everybody, we're going to have to start with Sayo, because it's what time there, Sayo?
It's past 3 a.m. in the morning.
Awesome.
Past 3 a.m. in the morning. Congratulations, sir. I applaud you at your
It's the only way he'd ever do it, you know?
It is.
Doesn't
Yeah.
make sense otherwise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you are
Yes.
from where? Sayo?
Austria.
Not
Austria.
that.
Don't lie. We all know you live in Alaska.
Yeah,
Yes,
seriously, dude.
it's true.
Yeah.
Look at those windows.
So who are you representing here? How should I put it?
Representing maybe BLGU.
There
I
you
guess.
go! Yay! Sayo got it. He wins a prize.
Hmm.
Whew. So
right.
then, of course, we have Pixie Glow from VVG. What was the
many
rest
Vs,
of? It's
more Gs.
Gank, right?
Gank.
If she's here,
Nope.
did she walk away from the camera?
I think so, yes.
I believe so.
All right.
Well, then
Octane.
we'll jump.
Everything's breaking up.
Oh, no good.
Oh, well.
No
look at
good.
that.
Pause the stream then. So what is
Yeah,
your
that is
team
true.
exactly? What is your team? You're the team captain of what team now?
VGG Gank.
That's what I was right.
VGG Gank.
I have renamed you correctly. Yay! Cool.
Octane Pro.
Yeah, Octane Pro. You are team captain for.
Team Nemesis?
Team
Very nice.
Nemesis.
Very nice.
Mm.
Do you enjoy doing that?
It's a lot of work, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Be the manager of
I
2
wouldn't,
teams.
I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. I mean, come on now. I think that's why we're all here.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree.
That
Totally.
and the really epic living room furniture that Chronix has.
Yes, he has more chairs than a table needs. One table does not need that many chairs unless it is poker time.
Hey, man.
And Chronix is from Low Gaming.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Where are you located actually? I'm curious. Like
I'm
region.
in Texas, bro.
You're in Texas?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Of course. Where else
It's
would he be?
obvious.
Obvious. Can't you tell?
Texas represent, baby.
Exactly. And of course we have Alakite and the Lionheart.
Mhm.
Lionheart, who is that man from
The
Damn it.
Matrix.
Is it the Matrix?
Some odd person.
Is that the
That's
Matrix
me,
picture?
dude. That's if I was a 3D rendered. That's what I'd look like. You know, if
This
I,
is true.
Yeah, yeah,
if my
definitely.
job would let me have a beard, that would be me.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. And everybody knows our 17-year-old Justin Bieber, 16, 15, however old he is.
12.
Yeah.
Alakite. We love to give him
12,
crap.
come on, get it right.
12.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
He's-
we're just going to jump right into this stuff.
He's tall for his age.
Yes, he.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you guys want to discuss first? I mean, we have just a massive list of topics.
Oh well, I think, or I want to go with the on the forums. What's his face? Hi-Rez Errors, I believe it was.
We want to
was
jump right into the
saying-
balancing?
The CEO of Hi-Rez.
Yeah, the
Yes.
CEO
Yeah.
of Hi-Rez was like, if you guys have balance, or what is it? If you guys have balance changes and if we can make a consensus, we'll do it immediately. So I think we should talk about balance changes and what needs to be done for the future of
I'll agree with that.
SMITE.
Yes, there are some giant balance changes they are planning.
Especially since
too.
we have so many good, competitive people on the show right now.
I know. It's just like the perfect place. Imagine. If you could get all these awesome team captains and people had a great idea how the game worked together and talked about balance, what awful and horrible awesomeness would happen.
I just love how the fact that we have to discuss this on the show and Hi-Rez doesn't pull us all into a nice little roundtable discussion and fix the game that way compared to doing it this way.
Take what you can get, I guess.
Hey, I mean, what we have been very often told that, like, all of Hi-Rez watches the show the next day.
yeah.
So
So
Okay.
if you want to talk to Hi-Rez,
Yeah, basically
this
just-
show is the way to do it.
just basically put out your ideas and they'll hear it in some form or fashion. So who do you think needs to be balanced and what? Let's start in the Pixie Glow. Let's start at Pixie Glow.
What?
If you could do one big balance change right now, what would it be? Who would you change and why?
Like one of the gods?
Yes.
or
No,
something
no.
else.
I mean,
yeah.
if you could think of items, maybe. Oh, let's go with gods first.
I think maybe Loki? Right
Maybe
now?
Loki.
It's still a little bit,
In what regard? Like, is not too strong and too weak, and he gets stomped on by a very large beast
Yeah, he
tissue
still
paper.
stomps on a lot of people. Especially, Shing needs to be nerfed, playing Loki.
Nerf that Shing, man.
Yeah.
He likes to kill me over and over and over and over and over again.
You know what? I would like to take this moment to congratulate myself. I killed Shing the other day with Sturmies. Woo! My
Dude.
life is complete.
Nice.
I didn't know you could play Starmies as a god.
I know. Sturmies is an epic god. Oh, yes. So, continuing on. Octane Pro, who would you nerf or buff or change and why?
I'm actually going to have to agree with Pixie Glow. I'd have to say with Loki right now, he is a newer god, and most of the time we do see adjustments to them. My personal opinion with Loki is his burst ability, especially on mages. Now, I understand the mechanics there and how it's supposed to work, but I've seen and watched too many people just get caught with Loki half health, maybe quarter health. They have full health and just get melted instantly. So I think there might be, I would love to see an adjustment there. But another thing to point out, I don't know if you guys saw the 6th post down on that forum post where the Hi-Rez Urez says, Art is already getting a buff and Anher is getting a nerf with the next patch.
I can see that.
So he does note it right there. Not sure if anyone else saw that, but yeah. So Loki
Yeah.
would be my choice.
Then let's go with Chronix.
Well, wait.
What?
Can we just state if you're saying it, or do you think they're strong or they're weak, or what's the what do you guys are you saying that Loki's
Yeah, in
strong
what
or he's
way?
weak? I didn't understand. You were just kind of
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll definitely defend it. I would definitely feel that Loki is strong when it comes to the burst damage. I think it might be a little bit too much. It could just maybe be me. I don't play Loki full time, so that would just be my opinion. Definitely strong.
Okay. Chronix, what do you think about what god, nerf, buff, why?
Honestly, I would say, and they already did say it was coming, I would say Artemis. She needs a huge buff,
Yeah.
simply because if you look at the amount of ranged AD carries we actually have, it's so limited. We're limited to 3 right now, and to only have 2 of them viable, it kind of, I don't know. I think it would have helped the balance of the game overall if to have, first of all, maybe another more, AD carries, but specifically to get the ones that are actually in-game viable. And Artemis just, in my opinion, is not viable right now.
Okay.
I'll agree with that. I mean, if you had a choice between Artemis and On Her, I mean, there is no choice as far as I can tell, and as far as it looks like competitive games go. So,
Sayo, what is your opinion? I see that
I
big
wouldn't
deep breath.
change a guard, to be honest, for balance issues. I would change abilities. And the thing that you basically just can run AD's mid right now. You cannot run AP anymore. Like Hell or something is not viable anymore, since like the Hand of the Gods change with you get a passive heal. Your infinite sustain in mid with either Baccus or Kali, mana or whatever, and you just snowball way better than any caster with AD carry for mid game. So this is what I would like to change in the game, that AP carries in mid get viable again.
yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, maybe also Artemis, like instead of a trap, maybe a roll, like a little dash. Something to escape just.
Barrel roll.
Like, this is the main issue. It's like the main issue with Artemis. She has no escape, so.
Okay. I would like to see her jump into a barrel and roll away and then jump out of the barrel.
Actually, a buddy of mine had a good, a badass idea for a dash. Like, she hops on the bar and he, like, dashes.
Oh! That is good. She rides the boar to safety.
Yes.
Or into battle, whichever one. She gets on her boar and it's like, woo! So, Lionheart, what do you think?
So, I'm going to pass on Artemis because a lot of people have said that already.
Right.
Normally she probably would have been my first pick, but we know a remake or some kind of change is already coming to her, so I'm going to pass on that. I would actually like to see Zeus get a remake. I think that from the beginning, I haven't liked the design of Zeus. I don't like the fact that the majority of his damage revolves around a single ability. I think that's kind of anti-fun to play. I mean, people maybe get really excited if they snowball with him and they're like, yes, I can hit this one button and I can kill 4 people. But generally, it's not really, for most people, it's not a fun composition to have to wait to be able to deal damage until this one ability's up. I mean, sure, late game his bounce deals damage, late game his ultimate, and actually early game even his ultimate deals damage. But I mean, an ultimate shouldn't be 2 abilities. And so I would like to see his kit get looked at and reworked, and maybe have it so that it's more than just let me wait for my detonate to be up so that I can kill everybody.
Okay. Alakite, you chomping at the bit over there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have giant rant incoming. So, since I brought this up, I'm gonna go with my giant rant here. There's there's about 3 gods that need necessary changes to them in a high level play right now. I believe that's On Her, Wukong, and Ares. They did say they are nerfing On Her, which I'm pretty happy about. I mean, of course, those are all OP in my opinion. On Her and Wukong, I mean, really all of them have 2 high base damages. Wukong and On Her have pretty insane base damages. Then they get to team fights that have really good CC, really good utility, all this stuff going for them. So I think they need a lot of either, utility nerfs or base damage nerfs especially. Then we get to Ares, which, if you've ever dealt with him with his chains, early game chains are insane. Those things can chunk you from full to half almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not even his ultimate that's, the huge problem there. It's the chains do so much base damage early game, they just destroy you. So I'd have to go for those 3. You definitely need something done with them for high-level play. They're basically must pick, must ban. Guan Yu's up there for that, but that's just because he has, everything going for him. That's a different problem altogether. And then I'm going to finish off my rant with the fact that I think they need to do something, or what was I saying earlier? I might have to go find my post on this. I feel like they need to reward pure damage more instead of just going, damage and tankiness. Right now, the game rewards you too much for being tanky while having damage, both in mages and ADs.
Especially
right now, if you're a mage, you grab items like Spear of the Magus, Void Stone, etc. But you can't be able to pure damage. Like Hebo right now is overlooked because pure damage just sucks. There's no point in building it at all. So I think that's another thing that needs to be looked at.
Rebuttals, arguments, comments, anyone? Well, I get yelled at by his mother.
When it comes to the hybrids, I mean, we're starting to see this advantage for hybrids right now. So I definitely have to agree with him. I mean, you can, just like people like Hades and the way that they're building right now. And yeah, you're seeing a lot of these gods kind of trickle away at the upper level play. I actually like Lionheart's comment, especially about like Zeus. It's a good point. I mean, beginning of beta, he definitely had a strong appearance, but now you no longer see him at this point.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something people also need to keep in mind, I think, when talking about balance, we're talking about gods and making changes to gods, is there's 3 levels of play going on here. There's competitive 5v5, which is very different from top-tier solo queue, which typically happens in ranked. People will debate the quality of ranked and this and that, but let's be honest. Top-tier solo queue, either ranked or normal, is just players who aren't playing in 5s as a team who are just queuing, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 queue. And then there's everybody else. And it's not to group everybody else and say, forget about all of you. It's just the bottom line. There's 5v5 competitive. There's top solo queue.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then there's everybody else. And at each level, the game is in a completely different state. People who are strong are different at each level. And that's something that I think everyone needs to remember has to be taken into account when the balancing happens. I mean, there's... you hear Hyra say it all the time. Wukong, for example, or Honor, they don't have that high of win-loss ratios. It's like 50-50. I mean, at top-tier play, everybody knows Wukong is pretty strong pick.
Yeah.
But at other levels of play, maybe he's just so-so. And so that's something I think that's maybe why we see some balance changes coming out slower. And I think that remaking everybody or massive changes to the meta can actually hurt the game more than it helps it. That's the only point I want to get across. It's not specific to anybody's balance change. I think everybody made really great suggestions in regard to balance, but I want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And
especially with just a nice segue there between the really strong, really big changes to the meta can hurt the game overall. We're talking about we could go and talk about the runes / masteries or whatever they are. For what they're planning to implement.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick before we jump into that.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of Lionheart. One thing that I like there, think of the game, look back at I know the game, I hate to say it, Warcraft, when a very small portion of their entire user base, millions, was those top tier raiders. And so for them, when they were critiquing the game and adjusting the game and making balance changes, it was for the masses, not necessarily those top-tier raiders. Right. I guess my question, and I'd love to hear it from High Res, is who are they balancing this game towards? The masses or the competitive play? Because as you said there, Lionheart, we're looking at totally different games almost, just with the gods. So, I mean, that's the question. If it's competitive play, it's going to be a completely different game than for these casual players, and vice versa. So, unless anyone has any insight there as to what they're balancing or how they're balancing it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
They're trying to balance probably at both levels. They've stated multiple times that they want it to be easy to get into, especially since it appeals to, shooters, to MOBA players, to, WoW Arena players, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So they want to try and make sure that it, appeals to everyone. My only problem is I feel like I think it should be balanced around the fact that if something is basically picked and banned every single time in a high elo game, then that god should be, had something done with them. And then at the lower level play, if something's basically destroying lower level players, say Loki was, going insane in low level play. I'm trying to think of an example from another game, but if a god's destroying in low level play, then you can fix it. But if something's picked and banned over and over and over at high level play, then I feel like something should be done about it.
Yeah, I'll agree.
They should break up the statistics into 2 different statistics. You got to have your pro players, like your level 30s, 2,500 and up statistics, and then have your everybody else statistics, and then compare the two. If they're pretty even across the board where everything's going on, you're doing good. If there's one god's way up here in the the low side, on the low end of the spectrum, and then on the high, different people are on the pro end of the spectrum, maybe you need a little adjusting. It's you got to play the very delicate balance game of balancing gods, and that's it. You can't appeal to everybody, unfortunately, so you got to try and do it for the most people while still keeping everybody as happy as you can.
Or make everyone unhappy.
Or you can make everyone unhappy and just completely break the game, and then you'll be out of luck. But we want them to succeed because everybody obviously here loves this game. That's why we're watching our podcast about it. So,
except for Alakite.
Yeah, Alakite hates our podcast. he drags his feet every day he comes on. He's just like, God, I gotta be on here again.
No, we love Alakite.
Yes,
it's all right.
So
we forgive you.
Is there any other suggestions you guys have as to giant or, I guess let's go with big changes?
Well, I think you were going into runes.
Yes,
I mean,
runes.
Let's talk about that.
That's a huge kind of change.
Massive.
I don't really think I want that because I didn't like that in League of Legends because you can't just get into a game with your friends who are level 30 and you're level 1 and play. I mean, granted, that's kind of the problem now because you can't join until you're level 6. But, you know, even if I was like level, say, 10 and all my friends were 30, so I'm this one level 10 with a whole queue of 30, and I get in there, I get destroyed because I don't have a full rune page. And that's.
Do you want to explain a little bit about what you know about the runes so that people who maybe haven't read the post can figure out what the hell we're talking about?
Right. It seems like it's going to be drops at the end of the match.
Say what?
Go for it.
I said I was raising my hand.
Okay,
go ahead.
Go for it, Pixie.
Well, no. She's raising her hand as in explaining.
I want you to.
Okay, yeah. So what I got from it is that they're going to be a god leveling system and runes. From what I could tell, you're going to level up some god either somewhere between playing it or applying runes. Might even level up gods. Say you apply 5 runes and that's 5 levels. I'm not sure. The runes are going to drop at the end of matches. However, rare or not, that might be something that might be frustrating. If they change anything initially off the bat, I think that might be it, because there isn't a lot of things to spend favor on right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they've been a little mysterious about talking about the rune system, and basically all they've said is that you will level up specific gods, and you will have 6 rune slots. And that's really all they said. And they haven't even said that that's finalized. That's just what they're quote-unquote experimenting with.
Yeah, speculating.
I mean, one of my concerns that I voiced is the word I'm looking for. And maybe you guys will agree with me, is, they said that you would get runes at the end of matches. They didn't really say what that meant. It's pretty ambiguous.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if that's random or if you get a select, because if it's random, that can be a real problem for somebody who's trying to put together a rune page. I mean, if anybody here played League of Legends, you know that the second something like runes is introduced, the composition of your page is absolutely key to your ability to play the game competitively, and sometimes can be key to your ability to play certain roles correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. What were you going to say, Chronix?
That's honestly my biggest concern, is how exactly these runes after the game are going to be acquired, especially if it's a random aspect. I think it could just completely destroy the game. It would be terrible. I totally would agree that if they're going to have runes or whatever the case may be, purchasing them with favor, that seems like a good idea. Overall, the idea, I'm against it. I really don't feel like this game needs any type of runes or masters or whatnot. But that is my largest concern about this whole situation, is if it's a random drop after a match, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have to institute trading.
Yeah. Ooh. That'd be like a whole.
This just reminds me of like TF2 and hats, but
yeah, exactly.
See, I like how Hi-Rez Erez, he mentioned in a thread a long time ago. I think this was like June. He was saying, what was he going to say? It will provide additional options, not additional power, smaller number of rune slots, no cost to purchase of any kind, and it would be visible to all players in the match. I guess he didn't say. I thought it was more implied that it was going to be like, you get them for free instead, or like you get them for leveling up, or you get them for free instead of just drops. Like, I don't like that. It's going to become TF2 with hats, I feel.
Yeah, only if the hats gave you more damage.
Uh-oh, we lost Pixie. Hi-Rez said that runes would be free and no favor, and gems would be used to buy them, is pretty much what the summation is. That apparently has been circulated before. So it would just be adding another level of depth to the game that doesn't cost anything. So if you added that kind of thing and made it available to everybody right off the bat, I could go for that, I guess.
Oh, there it is. And it says, for example, you would start with full rune slots, but not all rune types are available. New rune types are unlocked as you level up outside the match.
You know, what scares me the most about this rune system isn't the fact that Smite is getting runes. There's going to be a lot of comparisons of, well, they're just copying League of Legends. How dare they? League of Legends is very successful. I have no problems with Smite taking ideas from them and implementing them in their own way.
Absolutely.
My problem is that Smite has gained some momentum here. This is what everybody wanted, and I don't think it's the right way to go. For weeks and weeks and weeks, months even, people have been complaining about Smite is too slow to make changes. They're not doing the balance changes we need. They're not doing anything quick enough. And now they're going, in my opinion, too fast. I mean, we just had a rework of every single ability in the game. Now you're going to make those abilities even stronger. You're going to lower the price, and then you're going to go ahead and add in a rune system. I mean, the momentum that Smite is gaining is it's going to throw balance for a loop. It's going to make it so that each 2 weeks, excuse me, when there's a patch, every team is going to be scrambling to figure out what's new in the patch. Whoever can figure it out first is going to be the best competitive Smite team, and it's scary. I think that it's the idea is right, the changes are right, but it's got to slow down. We don't need all of this so quick. I mean, we just got a new game mode, ability rework. Now we're going to throw in runes. We're going to throw in maybe another game mode. I mean, it's too fast. It's got to slow down, focus more on making. There's so many items in the game that are just not used or purchased. Focus more on those items.
Yeah.
Focus more on champion balance. Focus more on the stuff that you've already added in. I mean, people are talking just recently when we were talking about the champion balance of how champions how the mid game has completely changed. Focus on those things, fix those things to a point where you're comfortable with where they're at, and maybe they are. I don't mean to speak for them, but where you're comfortable with it and the community is comfortable with it, and then do these other ideas. I mean, these are all great ideas, but it's all happening too fast.
And we also have to think of it as since the game's still in beta, we have to come at it from a slightly different point of view. From where I can see. So say when they did the ability rework thing, you don't come at it from this is what it was before and this is what they're changing it to. Imagine that if this is how it always was or this is how it is, if this would be bad. That's another way you have to look at it, because like say the thing with the abilities getting that buff. I mean, you think of it like another item. This is what they do. I mean, if you came into the game like this, would they be completely overpowered, or just were they so ridiculously strong in comparison to what they used to be?
Yeah.
So that's another way we have to look at game balance, because it's still in beta. They want us to look at things like that, not just, well, it was this, it is this, how does it compare? Is it, if you were coming at this new, or this is how it always was, how does this work? Yeah. Does it work? Does it not work? If it doesn't work, toss it.
Here's a good Pon brought up an interesting point, which is like, imagine somebody like Lassie having an MP5 rune and being able to just let side lane have blue buff, and he could just use his runes to keep his lane sustain up.
Yeah,
basically everybody could build to keep their lane sustained. Nobody'd ever go back.
Yeah, I guess the one thing for me is I come from the StarCraft 2 side of video games and that whole genre. Just coming into Smite some time back, and for me, looking at StarCraft and what was so attractive for me was the fact that everyone enters the game at the same level.
Right.
It all comes down to skill and experience. And so when I saw Smite, I was like, this is great. Like, you get into Smite, it's the same thing. Everybody is at the same exact level, and it all comes down to your skill and experience. Well, now, as you said there, the runes is changing that. And now it's going to come down to, okay, who plays the most? Who has the most runes? Who has the most time to get the runes? I mean, there's a lot of people out there right now that do have that free time. They'll be mining. I mean, you're pretty much just mining runes over and over and over again, and that sucks. I mean, I'm not interested in runes at all. I mean, yes, I agree with Lionheart. Like League of Legends does some awesome stuff, and I hope that we do take a few things from that. But runes is definitely not one of them, and I'd like to keep the competitive side of Smite to the skill and experience, and not what items you're holding.
Yeah, that's very true. Because, like I was saying, it's just frustrating to join the game and just get destroyed because you haven't played it for months or years. Other than the fact that you suck, just because of inexperience.
Yeah, and we don't know what these runes are going to do. So presumably they're going to affect your character. How, we don't know. They could go the classic thing of damage, health, penetration, MP5, etc., etc., etc. They could do a mix between that and now Ra's beam is green. They could really go wherever for it. So it's if you're going to level up gods, then you have options like that. Whether or not they take that route, I have no idea. So
another concern that I also had, and I'm curious if anybody else has had this concern, is the rune system they chose to adopt. Right, it's not a straight port from League of Legends. It's per god, or at least it sounds like it's going to be per god. And I'm curious what people think about that. Right, League of Legends, you have a rune page, you build it, you can use it on anybody. If I want to go, all AD runes on Malzahar, I can do that.
Yeah.
Why would you ever want to do that? I don't know, but maybe you want to. You can do it. And here, your rune system, at least it sounds like, and again, we don't know. Nothing's been released officially, but from the language used in the announcement, it sounds like it's going to be limited to each god. So it means that if you maybe feel like you want to play a new god that's been out for a while that you haven't tried, you're going to be at a disadvantage to somebody else who's playing that god who maybe has a full rune page.
Yeah. That's very true.
I guess the big thing is, how's that going to affect, just saying, your solo 5v5 conquest, your matchmaking value in there?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to balance it, truly balance it when it comes to level now and your runes? Or is it going to be all over the place and random? Because as you said, they're going to have this giant matchup of, someone with full runes versus somebody who's just got a few. So, I guess we really just have to see. I mean, they kind of just said, oh, there might be runes, and now the entire community explodes because they didn't give us any other information.
Well, see, another problem is the fact that League of Legends right now has the players to support the fact that, only level 30s get matched together, or for the most part, only level 30s get matched together. Right now, SMITE doesn't have that. You can have level 30s with level 10s if they have high enough elo. So, level 10 won't have the runes to compete with a level 50, or level 30, my bad.
Those level 50s, jeez.
Level 30 in the game. So, I mean, that's going to be a huge problem just for your, random 5v5s.
We need the player base to support that, is your point.
Runes are one of those things that everybody when they say runes, everyone thinks League of Legends.
Yeah.
And they're applying, okay, well, if you're going to do this, it's the only thing we really have to go off of is League of Legends. And that would be terrible. But other people are like, go for it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people came over from League of Legends because they wanted to change, too. So it's another thought. My biggest argument is just...
At this point, it's all kind of speculation until we really see what they're actually going to do and how they're going to implement it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's... my whole argument is strictly I can't jump in at level 1 and play with my level 30 friends and, be able to be on the same plane. You start off all at level 1, you have the same damage as every other person that has that god. That is where it's at. So
I do want to throw in one last point, and that is a positive and then kind of a hole that maybe people can think on. We don't have to really discuss. A positive side of the way that they're choosing to do runes, if it is god-based, is that it will encourage people to branch out once they've gotten all their runes on one god, to branch out to another god and play that god and kind of experiment with it. And so in that aspect, for those of you who are completionists like myself, you'll want to go ahead and play other things that maybe you wouldn't have played otherwise. The other thing that I want to highlight that's kind of related, and I know we talked about not having any cost to these runes, that they're a reward for matchmaking, is I would like you guys to all think of it, maybe go to the forums and post on blgaming.com ideas for what high-res can do with favor. Because right now, we gain favor, and for what? A color change? Some people want that, but some people don't, and it's a lot of favor for one color change. Maybe there needs to be something else that we can use favor towards.
Hats! Yes, the hats. I don't know.
Name changes would be something different that they could add into the game.
You can do that.
Go a lot of different ways with it. I mean, right now, a name change. I haven't done it. Was it $10 or something?
Yeah, it's 200 gems, I think, for a name change.
Yeah. I mean, what if you could do it with favor? I mean, now granted, you could still make it a pretty decent amount, so you're not having those people that are changing their names several times a day. But I think there's other little cosmetic features that would be kind of cool. That would be kind of fun to add into the game. I mean,
flare
just
or something.
Shooting from the hip here, look at look at Guild Wars, how you could purchase different dyes and stuff like that to color your gods different colors. I don't know, but there's so many different ways that they could go with it, and I agree with Lionheart. It sucks right now.
Yeah.
I also want to address some of the comments in chat. There's some comments in chat. They're saying that use favor for when the $30 God pack no longer unlocks your free gods. But some people actually enjoy. And trust me, I know many people from League of Legends have spent thousands of dollars, and I look at them like, wow, you're crazy.
Yeah,
people enjoy supporting the game and spending their money and like to be able to spend their money on gods. And I just think it would be nice if there's a few things you could pick up with favor that were only available by buying them with favor. And it's also good for the business model. I mean, let's think about it. The bottom line is, as much as we like to think that Hi-Rez is there to serve us nonstop 24/7, they are a business, and they need a way to be able to encourage people to spend money. If there's things that you can only get with favor and you have to choose spend my favor on the only favor thing or spend my favor on this god but then not be able to get the only favor thing, then all of a sudden spending money on the game looks a little bit more attractive. I mean, that's maybe not what a lot of people want to hear. I'm sure there's people out there who are determined to play this game without spending a dime, but it's a business. I mean, they need to be able to make money, and I think it would be a good move for them both as a business and a good move for us to have more content or more content that we can essentially purchase with our time.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, you want them to be able to play it competitively for $0, but you want to let them buy their way into interesting things or new special things or some special sort of hat or flary type personality, because everybody loves to personalize all their shit. So
all of Alakite's characters get bows.
Yes, bows and swords.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and then they get an archery range in their backyard.
Yep.
Exactly what they get.
On that note, I mean, I want Hi-Rez to entice me to spend. As a consumer of their product, I want them to entice me to spend money with them. It's better for the game overall, because, I mean, think about it. If they can't make money, there's no game.
Right.
We all like the game, so, definitely don't mind supporting them, but they definitely, I agree with Lionheart, they need to kind of work around that model there. And it will entice people to spend more money in their game, which is just going to, equal more profit for them, which is better for us in the long run.
Yep, because more profit for them means more people they're developing, which means faster and bigger and more significant, useful updates and all sorts of new content. I mean, you can't complain about that.
Yeah, I like definitely just to reiterate what Lionheart said, give us a choice between two good options. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Simple as
that.
I kind of like Viper's idea. Magical respawn unicorns. That sounds cool.
Ooh! You could buy pets. That's another good thing. Maybe a little pet that follows you around or something.
Oh my god.
It'll really get the...
Oh no!
Oh, and then we need mounts, and then we need...
That would be something else for me to collect. I don't agree with that.
Like Diablo before you know it to accompany you on your battle.
Yes. I want my mini...
Looking at Riot a little bit, they earned enough money that when the game got to a nice stable point, they could put that money back into the competitive scene with the giant tournaments. I mean, that's the big thing that we're seeing. I mean, why League of Legends is so successful? Because the prize pools aren't provided by sponsors. They're not provided by, small organizations. Riot's like, hey, their first big tournament, here's $1 million. This is a prize pool to give out. I mean, that would be awesome to see Hi-Rez to be able to do that. And I think, as you said, it comes down to the business model for making money, and they're really going to have to turn it up because things are very, slow and fast, and it's all over the place when it comes to development. So I'd love to see it get to a point where they have enough money and enough profit that we can see, them put the money back into esports, because we haven't seen a ton of esports support from Hi-Rez just yet.
Yep, that's true.
Very true.
Hopefully we'll be seeing some soon. So anyway, we shall move on from that topic.
Yeah,
since we have so many other things to talk about. Holy crap. We spent really long.
Really?
What?
Pseudo draft mode is coming.
Yeah. What do you guys think about draft mode? Like, what?
Well, for everybody that's listening, if they don't already... Yes.
Wow.
So how they're going to implement it is, at first, everybody in ranks going to be able to do bans, and then the next patch after that, it's full draft mode. So,
that's what we want to see, right? I mean, we absolutely want to see a full draft mode, right?
I really want to see draft mode.
Which is like 2 bans per side, and then A, B, B, whatever fucking order it is.
I wonder how
that
voting's going to work, though, because if
I'm
you're just
curious.
queuing up, it's like, how are any 5 random people going to agree on one person to ban?
Well, I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I would do it like League with that. The top ELO dude or whatever. They pick a random person out of there. You get to do the bans. You better discuss it or get raged at by your team, maybe. Or should it be on a voting?
No, that's not fair because I'm always on the bottom of the ELO list.
Better get your ranking up.
Can't. I cannot get out of the bottom bracket. I cannot. Like I brought my stuff up to 892 from 284, and now I'm all the way back down in the 400s.
Oh.
It's going to be interesting how they implement it because it's, especially with random players, it makes it a little bit easier if they add draft mode into the custom play when we're doing scrimmages and stuff like that because you're all using, some type of communication software.
Sure.
Man, random's going to be so rough.
Yeah. Should it maybe be a voting system where, everybody votes on a god?
That's going to work out.
Especially if, some guy that doesn't really know what's going on, just, bans Anubis instantly. It's like,
this is my first ranked game.
I wonder if they did rolls, like a rolling system. Like everyone joins in and does like a roll, and then the person with the top roll gets to pick, who bans.
Yeah, it's almost random. I mean,
yeah, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit different.
Everything
I
is
would swing
complicated.
against
I think
all of you.
it's fine like it is right now.
Yeah, I would swing against all of you and say that the top-rated player in the game should ban.
Yeah.
There's problems with rating right now, and we all know what they are, but you just have to put your faith in Hi-Rez that they're going to be able to do it. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't want it to be random. There's just as much of a chance that the random person selected is not going to know what to ban as there is the top person in the game. And you just, at the end of the day, you have to just understand that banning is going to be kind of shaky at first, but eventually with streams and with time, the community is going to figure it out. I mean, there was a time when you played League of Legends and nobody knew what the hell a ward was, and it was obnoxious. And now there's people are hardcore warding in normal games. Like, what? You just got to give it time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also you got to think about though, if you do it randomly, there's going to be those trolls that are going to go in, and they're just going to do that on purpose just to piss everybody off. I mean, that's what they get off on. So that may not be something that we want as well.
I'll agree with that. But I mean,
your top-rated player could be a troll also. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Yeah.
If I was in a game and I looked at the other team and didn't recognize anybody and I was confident in my team, I'd probably ban some troll shit. I'm trying to be honest, dude. I probably
Who would you ban? Who would be a troll ban?
Anubis or Artemis. Honestly.
Yeah.
Probably, in my opinion, two of the weaker picks in the game right now.
Interesting.
All right, here's what I'm actually posting something right now in the forum, and when I'm done, I'm just posting basically what do you want to see Hi-Rez institute to the game that you can spend favor or gems on, and so I want to compile a giant list or some useful lists. People agree. If you agree with a topic, please do tell them that you agree with it, so that way we have a record of somebody. This has got holy crap. This has got a bunch of people like this, so we can give it to Hi-Rez, and maybe they'll actually be like, we should look into doing that really. So I'll link it in the chat in a minute. So what should we go over next now is the question.
What do we have left?
Oh, we have things. I would say, let's see. He made my post all bad and stuff. All right. We've gone over most things, so I'd like to go over the new game mode, Capture and Hold. I don't recall any other MOBAs having a game mode like this.
Dude, it's Dominion.
Capture and hold. Well, it depends. Well, Dominion is kind of.
Dominion's a capture and hold. How
imagine a capture and hold that isn't like an entire round map. Like.
Oh, you mean if it's like TF2 capture?
Yeah.
And hold? Yeah.
Imagine TF2 capture and hold.
That
How
would be
much more
interesting.
awesome would that be?
Would you need creeps in there? Is the question, or can it be purely gods?
Now we're gonna have to move along the cart next.
Yes. Wait, no. You buy the cart with your favor, and it gives you base MP5.
Your runes are in the cart.
Right. You gotta save your runes. If you get them to the end of the map, then you get them. If you don't, too bad.
Yeah. Oh, King of the Hill would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Somebody just said that in chat there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for different game modes, but capture and hold.
You're gonna have to gain a crap ton of passive gold in the XP though.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Any Gears of War players here? Annex? I would like to see an Annex.
Yeah.
I don't know Gears of War. Tell me what that is.
Annex is random points spawning on the map, and it'll stay there for 60 seconds timer. It'll count down regardless of if people are standing in it or not, and you stand in it to hold the point, and then it ends up being pretty much a mobile king of the hill.
Oh, I saw that kind of like, that was kind of like, I think they did it in Halo 1, or one of the Halos maybe, but yeah, that's actually kind of fun too.
Yeah, all the Halos had that, I think, or at least I know 3 did.
Yeah, because then, I mean, you can't, like, camp a certain area because you know it's going to happen. You have to be ready to move. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be neat because you'd have to move around and fight the enemy team all the time.
Congratulations to whoever thought of that one.
If it was multiple teams, so, like, you know, like 4 teams competing for it, because I think with 2 teams it'd be kind of boring. Multiple teams would definitely make it more interesting.
Do you guys want to see a new conquest map? Like maybe an actual, Dota-style conquest map?
I mean, recolors are cool. A whole new one, not so much.
Well, I guess the question is, do we end up getting a large amount of different game modes to, or do we go the route of, as they say there, like different conquests? I mean, I guess you could grow the community even more with different game modes, though, because you got to look at the casual gamers. I mean, the casual gamers are the majority of any game, and not everyone likes that competitive side. Maybe they like some of that custom side. I mean, once again, I'm going back to StarCraft roots. Look at the StarCraft side. I mean, the custom community is huge.
Yeah,
and then you have the competitive side. But that's the thing. I mean, I guess high res is all over the place right now, and I guess it really comes down to where they decide where their focus is going to be.
I would think maybe being able to make a custom game, not just it's on what map and with what players, but on what map, what are the rules? Do we have creeps? Do we not have creeps? Is there fire giants? Is it all creeps on one side and it's just us? So it's basically a PvE. To where you can almost customize the game to what you want to play right then, and that would be a lot of fun because then you could screw around with your friends and just be like, I have 45 minutes to waste and I don't want to play anybody. I'm not in the mood. I just want to screw around. I don't want to worry about losing my ELO or anything. I just
or all fire giants. I mean,
My concern with that and all the new game modes and taking it even to a further customization like what you were just mentioning is, especially this early, I feel like it's too soon just because the player base isn't large enough.
Yeah, that is a very good point.
Facilitating 15 different game types. We don't have the player base yet. I would have kind of liked to seen maybe the third new mode come later down the line. Say we have over 1 million accounts or something, just a little bit more because our base is just not that big right now.
Right.
And I think it's just going to further split it. The more game modes and the more customization you give at this point. Something I would like to see later down the line.
I think they pushed through the arena mode more specifically for maybe the WoW arena type people that want to get that super fast-paced action. The joust mode, I mean, that's just because people complained about they wanted a 1 versus 1. So I think the arena was mostly to try and entice a lot of the WoW arena people because I actually have several friends who are... Go ahead.
Arena's good. It's the new one that I'm like, man.
Capture and hold.
We already, you gave us Arena. Joust, that's 1v1. That's easy. That's, I don't even consider that an actual mode. That's just 1v1.
Yeah, it's just something.
But, yeah. That's
They're also good to be used as, like, resource tools as far as, like, I know what my team was doing was we would go into arena and practice team fights.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually one of the reasons that they were saying that is the reason they made arena was so that way it would get newer players in a better position to deal with a very large group team fight. Because if you just play Conquest all the time as a low level, you don't play you don't play often enough, you get in these big team fights and you're like, holy crap, what do I do? Because you don't get into them very often if you're not running around as a group. And everybody, because if you're getting really low, like when I first started, it was pretty much you stayed in your lane. Holy crap, don't move from your lane. It's if everybody else lost their lane, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But now people are learning that you need to group up and do this and do that to get objectives, etc. But
catch people out of the group.
It helps. It helps. Basically get people in. And that's what we want. How do we appeal to more people is the biggest, like, the answer to all of our problems is we need more players. How do we get more players?
It's free game. No, Pixie Glow is not a dude. Pixie Glow is a female. Thank you.
The way you make this game grow is you get it out of you have to get it out of beta. The fact that it's still in I mean it takes time, fine, do it at your own pace. I'm not saying you should do it tomorrow, but as much as you say yes, come by our stream, we'll give you a beta key, no problem. You still need to do something to get into the game, and people are lazy.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
People are lazy. So you're seriously hurting the admission of new players into the game by just being in closed beta and requiring a key. Number one, you could still be in beta, just being open. Why we're not, you have to ask someone at high-res. But two, the esports scene. It was said earlier. You have to make people feel like A, they can make money playing this game, even if they can't.
Yep.
And B, you have to give them the coverage that they want.
The A-Series Cup started for ESL. So the winner of this, 3rd December, gets Amateur Series Cup Pass, 3 months of premium promotion on ESL. So this means you don't have to qualify for any future offline events anymore, and you are surely qualified for every IEM Cup in the future. That SMITE has to bring up. And when the A-Series starts for a game, it's like just a few months before Go for SMITE, for example. And I know, I talked with ESL and Hi-Res in Paris. I know that Go for SMITE will come out, so you get money every 2 weeks, for example. I know some future offline events. I know which professional team will pick up SMITE in the future. But sadly, though, we cannot give this shit out.
So actually,
but they are doing much. They are doing really, really much. Like, you just don't see it now.
And I know that they are. And I mean, I have very good contact with Hi-Res as far as esports is concerned, and for the same thing, not really much I can say about it. I mean, they are doing stuff, but I mean doesn't change the fact that that's the stuff that needs to be done for it to grow. And even if they're doing it, it hasn't been done yet.
Right. So I wanted to actually...
A few things to mention there. You had mentioned about, they're still in beta and everything. And most of the time they stay in beta, especially like a closed beta, is to monitor like their server loads. So make sure that like all of a sudden they'll just open up the doors and the game doesn't even boot. But they've been in closed beta without just like, hey, everyone's allowed in for how long? Like not, allowing it. And that's the thing. I mean, from what I heard some time ago, they were like, 30 gods, so we're going to come out of beta. Well, it's like, we are just about there. Why don't you have the doors open and test your servers at full ability? I mean, I see day in and day out, people are like, it's laggy right now. Like, I can't hit a few abilities or spells here and there. And I don't know. Maybe one of you guys know. Do you guys know how many servers SMITE actually has worldwide?
Another question right now. What do you think when a game will release? Do you think like 1 million players will like join the game?
I don't know, but if they do, are they going to be ready for it?
No, this won't be like this.
I don't know, but they should go to bogaming.com.
It would be like the same thing as you log in every day. It's just that it's like some, like for some offline tournaments, you need a released game, for example. This is why Dota 2 has just like one big offline event every year, for example.
Is Dota 2 ever going to come out?
Game.
Just saying.
You just need, yeah.
Is SMITE?
Not just one big offline tournament, for Dota 2 every year. Like there's EWC and stuff, but just for Dota. Like you need a released game for this stuff, but otherwise, I don't know how a release of the game is really helping growing the player base that much.
I mean, it's still that lazy thing.
First off, your player base is capped automatically with it freaking being in beta. I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, it could grow. It could grow even a sliver larger every week if it wasn't, you have to know someone, or you have to get a beta key in order to get in. Like, come on now.
You have to go and actively search to get in is the problem. You have to be like, where can I get an invite?
Yep.
I mean, there's a few things. Dota 2 had Dota 1. Dota was like a huge game. Dota 2 is a huge game. And Dota 2 does have more than just the international. It just doesn't get the same esports coverage. It doesn't get the same publicity as the international does.
Yeah, I know.
And then the other side of it is that, every day that I was on the Hi-Res stream, I mean, even on my own stream, people would come in and say, how do I get in this game?
Yeah, how do I get a key?
And I mean, that to us who are already in the game, that's like an asinine question. Like, are you serious? I'll take go at PM like 20 different people. Give me your email. There's like hundreds of ways to get in. Go to the Reddit. But there's a lot of people out there that don't know. When the TSM people were streaming, I would hang out on their streams and I would look at what people were saying in chat. And if they weren't bashing the game or praising the game and stuck in that argument, they were asking, how do you get in the game? Like they just straight up had no idea. I mean, it's just what appears like it's common knowledge to us. Is it common knowledge? I mean, it's just the way the world works, man. There's people in continents right now getting stoned for witchcraft, dude. How absurd is that? I mean, we all know witchcraft doesn't. How absurd is that? Like, That's just how easy it can be. That information, like regardless of how well the internet and ways there are to spread it, just doesn't get to people. And I think just the simple ability of them hearing the game's name and going to the website and being able to sign up right there without having to get some silly key would just do wonders for the community.
Well, I guess the big question for Hi-Rez is when's open beta? They've been in closed beta for how long? When's open beta? Because most development teams follow that. I mean, what are you going to go from closed beta to, hey, here's full release?
No, I think they'll go open beta because they did with Tribes. I mean, Tribes, they did a large open beta, and then they finally released it.
Yep. Correct.
So they have a history of doing it.
My question is, like, when's that going to be if they're looking – I mean, people in the chat are like, oh, they're going to release it 30 gods.
Oh, they're not going to release it 30 gods. Yeah,
I think 30 gods is when open beta is. I don't think that's actual. That's going to be my guess. I have no idea. That's just a guess.
And for their sake, I hope their servers can handle the load.
When do you guys think this game will be released?
I was told that they were kind of aiming for January.
I heard that they were aiming for PAX East for actual full release.
Oh, yeah. Which date is PAX East?
This is in March.
Late March.
22nd to the 24th.
Yeah, late March.
This is what I've heard.
Makes sense.
In
I mean,
Paris,
they
said
year.
they will delay it for a few months, the release.
Yeah, as long as it's in open beta.
I say do it. I say open up at PAX East. Open up with, like, if you can muster the money. And I don't know what their finances are. This may be like no money to them. It may be a lot of money. I have no idea. But if you can muster the money, open up a big tournament at PAX East and give like grand prize $20,000. That's not a lot of as far as esports is concerned. For most companies, that's not a lot of money either. But it would just do wonders for the community and publicity.
I agree. It'd be huge. It'd be huge there
and that's just a random number I made up. I mean, obviously you should do the
$50,000. Yeah, 50.
Well, you do realize
20,000 doesn't sound that expensive, but still sounds like to us like what? Oh yeah. I get $20,000. It's gonna make people pay attention to the game. And PAX East, I mean, PAX East 3-day PAX, not as fast as PAX Prime. It wasn't 4 hours, but it was like 2 days, less than a day maybe even. So I mean, there's a lot of people there who are big in the gaming industry, and you make a big impact there, that's going to echo.
Yeah.
$20,000 would be extremely significant, and it's huge. And the reason I say that is, I still follow the StarCraft scene very much so. Teams fly their members all over the world for like $7,500 first place prize pools.
Yeah.
And at that point, it doesn't come down to, oh, that player just earned like $7,500. It comes down to coverage. It comes down to the esports aspects of it. I mean, look at it from I'm getting to esports and everything because that's kind of like my big thing. Sponsors look at these big money tournaments. Why? Because of the coverage.
ROI.
Exactly, and that's the big thing. I mean, right now we as a community don't have it. We don't have it at all. I mean,
absolutely.
The thing is that I noticed, like with Juice, like part of the agreement or information that I saw there on Blight Gaming was pushing that they're going to be streaming like all the time type of deal. That's how they're getting the return on investment for sponsors. That's the big thing for teams right now. You're not going to go winning little itty-bitty tournaments or matches here and there. That's not going to interest sponsors.
Yeah.
And sponsors, and just an announcement to people, sponsors aren't going to walk up to you and be like, here's salary at $50,000 a year. We just want you to play the game, and that's it.
Yeah, you can't just be the best and expect to get paid.
Exactly. You could be the best, but if you don't stream and you're the best team out there, sponsors aren't interested because one, you're not going to promote their brand.
Yeah. They want to be able to slap their label on you and have hundreds of people see it every hour, or thousands or tens of thousands.
Yeah.
And as many people as can see it is what they'll do. I mean, that's why everything is all about return on investment where it comes to sponsors. You're not going to get the only kind of sponsors you're going to get right now is, I can imagine, is Mr. Moneybag sponsors, as they call them. The people who have lots of money that they want to promote a brand that doesn't exist yet, and they want to like start it. And so they're like
startups. Yep.
Yeah, they want to say, "All right, be this brand. I'm going to throw money at you. You guys get my name out there." And it's it's a shot in the dark. Whether they succeed or not is up to the team or whoever has
been
sponsored.
Big thing is management as well, though. Like, you're not going to see sponsors coming into a scene where there's no management. There's no businesses. There's no LLCs around companies. I mean, they're not going to come into a bunch of people, which is like a bunch of 5 guys, and be like, "Hey, we're going to give you money." Like,
that's not going to happen.
You need management. Like, you need management. You need LLCs set up. I mean, it's a business. Each team is a business.
Yes, it is.
When you start to look at esports, and a lot of those businesses revolve around websites. Websites become LLCs. They get trademarks. They get copyrights. All of a sudden, you start to see sponsors start to come in. So, I mean, all these people that are like, "Oh, we need these big tournaments." Where are you going to fund them from? Because one, a Hi-Rez doesn't have the player base. to support throwing $1 million at a tournament, and 2, we don't have the sponsor base right now. So I mean, it's a development. These things take years, and we're not there yet.
Yeah. Basically, for Bryster, there is no patch this week. It's coming out next week sometime. They weren't specific as to when the patch is. They said it on stream yesterday, a whole lot they said, which I didn't watch, but there is no patch today. So, I talked to Duke, and there is no patch. No patch. Got it.
This is not the patch you were looking for.
Yes, this is not the patch you were looking for. Exactly.
They're going to give you a Turkey Day patch maybe instead.
Ooh.
Yes.
Give me something to do over Thanksgiving.
And speaking of Turkey Day, Beyond the Rift may or may not, probably will be running. So
I'll be doing it. I don't know if any of you guys will be here. I'll sit here solo and just like
I'll
talk
be drunk.
Oh, is it actually on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Well, then Revel can have his actual turkey leg, right?
I know. I'm gonna have my turkey leg. I'm gonna be sitting in front of a fire.
We're
I'm
all
gonna
gonna
have
be,
like
no. It's gonna be. We're gonna
some jack in one hand.
We're gonna show up. We're gonna be like
another.
this. Oh God! It's hey, welcome to Beyond the Rift. I'm so full. Oh my God.
Yeah. It might be better to just do a VOD. I'm not sure.
No. Live or die. There we go.
Just like have the VOD run on the stream.
How about a live VOD?
All right.
I don't know,
So
people have to be able to interact with the guy who's in the drunk turkey coma.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And so speaking of drunk turkey coma, that brings us to my next topic.
Right. Ladder system.
Yes.
Can't wait to hear this one.
Yay!
It's
our ladder time.
BLG just released an awesome new feature.
Yes.
It is our 5v5 custom ladder system. It is really, really cool. So for all of you guys who haven't checked it out, go to bogaming.com and click on ladder. I know.
Very specific directions.
Shock, all right? It's at the top. And you'll see all the teams that are registered on our ladder, which number's currently 23. And it's an automated ladder. So basically what happens is you register your team, you play against another team that's on our ladder. If all the players on there are playing, it records the win and loss. We have our own custom ELO ranking system, so just go check it out. You can see who's ranked number 1 right now, which is
My Revenge.
My Revenge.
With 3 wins and 0 losses.
Yep, 3 wins, no losses, beating out Juice Gaming by just a hair. And in the future, we're going to be giving out prizes. We're going to be doing invitationals, all based on this. So if you have a team out there that's not already on this, get on this.
And for those teams that were trying earlier, we were having little issues because the high-res servers weren't talking nice with ours. They we talked with them and we got stuff cleaned up, so everything's going smoothly again. That was kind of part of. We released it and we knew that there were. My big post says we know that this is the first time we've ever done this. So, and it's the first time high-res is letting this many people use we're basically smashing the high-res's API right now.
Yeah,
so
we're getting so many server calls, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like the first couple days,
great.
we just capped out our server calls too much, and so the ladder stopped updating because it's like, no, we're not listening to you anymore. Stop talking to me.
But it is currently up and working now,
Yes.
so go check it out.
Everything has
It's
been
actually really, really
fixed.
cool. So go check it out. Put your teams on there if they're not on there
Yes.
with your in-game names so that it can actually find you.
The
And,
game name that you want to play on. So you all have to be on your 5 game names, and that's what you do.
Yep. So go check it out. Have any of you guys that we have here checked out our ladder system or played any games that have recorded on it?
I've checked it out. I guess my question for you guys is, in the future, are we going to be able to click on our team name and see a history?
Yes.
Because a lot of the times you don't know, and so okay, awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, did I play that team? I was like, I can't even remember. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's gonna be under a long development time because our developer he's a busy guy. He can work on it when he can, and he's gonna keep adding new features and new features as we go.
How it pulls all the information, it has all that information. It's just bringing it up into a reasonable way to look at.
Yeah.
Because it pulls a lot of information.
It does.
Wait, you don't pay your developer $100,000 a year to sit around right now? You guys don't have that money?
Right. I mean, oh yeah, that's totally what he's making.
Are you offering a developer? I mean, because we could totally. Yeah.
We'll take him. But yeah, like we're gonna build up on the ladder page. It's not just gonna be the ranks. We're gonna have things like most played god, most bought item, most most killed god, most sold item, whatever, most how many runes were, or how many not runes, how many wards were purchased this month, something stupid like that. Just fun information that we think
when's
people will
high-res
like.
going to buy this from you guys? I mean, seriously,
yeah.
I mean, this is better than their system. Like, when are they going to come to you and be like, hey, we like what you're using. Can we buy it off of you?
High res.
Soon,
the
maybe.
offer is open.
There's your $100,000 right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we did a
Alakite Night.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's going to be really cool going forward, especially when we're doing prizes and invitationals based off your ranking on the ladder system and all the things that go along with that. So
yeah,
I'm very excited. It's
Good
like
times.
watching something awesome in slow-mo. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, what do you guys think about Thor's new hammer throw change?
Oh, the teleport on it?
Yes.
Does
this make him viable at all, or is it just weird?
I mean, here's the deal.
I wonder if
Here's
you can-
my problem with it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could use it as a little bit of initiate. You throw the hammer, get the double tap, and then, charge in there and start, 3 in or whatever. I guess you could use it that way. Or maybe they're trying to give him an escape, which I think is even worse to probably use for your best DPS skills for an escape. I don't like Thor in general. I think he's just too weak. He's not tanky enough to be a bruiser. His damage is okay, but it scales poorly. I think that was the wrong fix for him. I think he needs a fix, but that was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he already have an escape? We're going to add another one now?
Ultimate!
But, well,
I know.
It says alt, though. I mean, it's terrible. If you're having to use your alt as an escape, that's
That's
just bad.
Agreed.
It's not what you need to be doing. What I did learn from actually the EU guys was that will make Thor the ultimate fire giant stealer. He ults into the fire giant, spins after he stuns everybody, and then he throws his hammer and runs out. And ta-da! He can go through a wall in and go through a wall out. And you guys are just stunned there going derp. And then you can come back and go herp.
I feel like you should only be able to teleport if you hit something. Like, if you hit something, then you teleport to them instead of just randomly teleporting wherever the hell you want.
I don't know. Randomly teleporting seems way more fun.
It does.
Well,
it would be
but
good
then
if it
he
was
doesn't
really
have-
random. If you throw your hammer and then you could land at the end, or you could stay where you are, or you could be somewhere in the middle. It's just like, whoa, where am I?
I talked about this shit with Bart when we were like drunk in Paris, and he said to me like, yeah, really. He said to me like, first when we were about to release Thor, like this future right now would have been implemented. I was like what the fuck? Like it's good that they didn't do it because this is just crazy. The mobility you get from this, like you cannot hit Thor anymore. It's basically impossible that he gets caught out.
He'll just throw his hammer and run.
This, yeah.
And it's on such a low cooldown.
Like engage, disengage. The cooldown is like completely low. The range is the longest range in the game. It's not in a high mana cost. It does ridiculous amounts of damage. He still has his ultimate. Yeah. Wow. I'm just amazed by this change. They really did it. It's gonna be beast.
Again, I feel like it should only be if you hit something, so then that's your engage, and then, the rest of his stuff can be used if you want to try and disengage or run away. Because now he has, like, infinite amounts of runaways.
Yeah.
This would be like the ultimate chaser god. Like,
yeah, really.
Yeah.
This guy can chase through everything. I wonder if he can jump behind, like, the Gold Fury into the lane. Like, this is so fucking insanely long, the range on his first spell. Nah, I bet you guys it would work.
Yeah, it might. At just at the very end of it, yeah.
It's
I
like
can see
really,
that.
it's really long. Wow.
Yeah.
No, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. Interesting. Can't wait to see if they actually put it through. And
I think they will.
well, I mean, everything's still. It's not officially released yet. Then it can still change.
Yeah.
They might hear this and be like, "Oh God, we have to remove it now." We didn't think of that idea. Holy crap, we didn't
When
think
I
of that
saw
way
the
to have
change,
viewed
I was
it.
like, what the?
Yeah.
When you saw the changes, you were like, facepalm.
All right, I want to open up the phones and let people call us and argue with things we have talked about thus far today. Are you guys ready for?
Yes, call us up on Skype.
I want people who disagree with anything we've said.
Perfect.rain, or people who want to praise us merciless.
I like to put my arms up in the air and hold up, like raise the Skype name. Raise the Skype, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so 80s, 90s. One of those.
You don't
decades.
even know what you are.
Oh yeah.
It is okay.
And I do encourage all people to come here during the pre-show because it was great, awesome anime answering time and music identification time. It was epic amounts of fun and lots of story time. It was good.
Epic amounts of fun and lots of story time.
Yes, yes. All right, we have our first caller. Dun 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 dun. Let me get him working. Make sure I have the auto settings correct. We do. I do. Did I?
Yes.
Yes, I did. All right, Baz, go for it.
Okay. Lion, I wanted to kind of call you out a little bit on the Dota 2 stuff. You said that they don't have like a. How did you exactly say it? They don't have like a promotional scene or something.
You're saying they don't have a really. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't know what he's talking about.
You said they didn't have some sort of scene. You said they had a big international scene, but something.
They didn't have like a big, I guess like.
Who's they?
Well-known scene.
Dota 2.
Dota.
What? No, I didn't say that.
Forget it. We will continue on. Next.
I said Dota 2 has more tournaments than just their major tournament, the international or whatever. I never said that they have a small scene.
Ah. We'll continue.
All right, so what's your next point, Baz?
What's your next point?
The Loki changes, or the Loki, I guess, statements that a couple of years, I think it was Pixel and Octane.
Yeah.
Where the Loki was like really, really powerful. I mean, in all honesty, he's not, because he has such low HP, and if he gets caught out of position or if he doesn't kill a target, he's pretty much dead himself. I know I play Loki a lot, and so one of the main counters to him is Sun Wukong, unfortunately. He's just a lot better carry than Loki's ever going to be. I mean, Loki's one of those gods where you pick the target, you go at him, and then you either kill him or you don't kill him, and then you're dead yourself because you have such low HP. Like at level, 10, I think he only has like 1,200 HP, which is really, really, really low. So I guess I just wanted to disagree with you guys on that. And
well, I mean, that's the point. You're supposed to shut him down early, so then he's not getting farm, he's not getting fed, he's not getting any of that. But have you played him or played against Loki as Ao Kwang after the changes that they already made?
Oh yes. I have definitely been on the other end of his backstabbing abilities. But
you can't really do shit. Forget pushing ages because it doesn't work.
Are we talking about the high competitive scene here, or just like what level of play are we talking about?
I'm talking randoms, 5v5s or randoms. You go into Conquest, you get butt raped.
What should we?
Okay. Well, it's hard to focus on because you don't know where the balance is for high risk. We really don't. If it's the casual or if it's the high side. But I will agree that Loki is like a glass cannon. If he doesn't kill you, he's most likely dead on himself. But if he gets the jump on you, you are in trouble. And I agree there. I completely agree there. I mean, I understand. But there isn't. I mean, what are you going to do? Like lower his attack damage right now? I mean, I guess that's the only thing. I mean.
Well, yeah. Okay. So you brought up the whole Ao Kwang point. Ao Kwang in general isn't very good to start with. I mean, he has a really poor escape. He's not really that good in team fights unless he's in the jungle, and his really only main purpose is to push towers. So, I mean, as far as Ao Kwang goes, you're not going to really have that much.
Don't insult my Ao Kwang, man. That is my noodle dragon.
Oh, I love the noodle dragons.
In all honesty, he's my favorite. Out of all the gods that they have in the game right now, he's definitely my favorite. First one I bought, and he's my favorite. But, he's just not good. So, I mean, Loki versus an Ao Kwang, I don't know any Ao Kwang who can beat a Loki because he has such high burst. So, anyway, moving on to my last point, the rune system. I'd like to agree with what Lionheart was talking about, where, we don't really know how it's going to be implemented. And some of the issues and things that people are kind of really worried about are going to be there, but I think that we really just kind of need to wait and see how they're going to actually affect the game itself. I don't actually honestly want runes, but Lionheart's definitely right with the whole. Let's just kind of wait and see how it happens.
Yeah, we gotta wait and see.
We went over that for a
while.
All right, thank you for the
call.
Thank
you for the call, Baz. We have actually plenty more to get to, so we will get to them very quickly. Thanks, sir.
Next is
Tyler.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I thought it was red.
Tyler. How are you doing today? What is your question, sir, or comment, or rant?
My question is for Lionheart.
It's for Lionheart?
For Lionheart. He likes the shirtless Lionheart. I mean, sleeveless. Sorry.
Yeah, it's for Lionheart.
All right, what's up?
This is an all-star player, isn't it? How this kid call in? Oh my god, dude. Hang up the phone on this guy. This troublemaker is everywhere. Yo, ask your troll question, man. Go ahead,
What's
let
up?
it out.
What's your question?
No, I just want to know when Lionheart's going to come back to doing more streams. I just want to know when Lionheart's going to...
You are the #1 troll all-star player. The #1 troll.
Congratulations. You heard it here first.
Yes, got it. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you for the conversation. I guess Lionheart's like, I'm not going to answer that.
I'm confused.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. That's one of my friends. I'm sorry.
I don't mind.
I don't care. Although I do want Red Viper to call me on Perfect Rain so I can pick it up.
As soon as Red Viper calls it. You don't have him on here?
No, I don't. Unless he's something that I don't know.
No, I don't think he is.
Because I don't have him renamed.
All right. Well, while we wait for him to call, I guess we can...
There he is.
Aha! Yeah,
look at that mess. Ta-da! Red Viper, how are you? And what is your question comment today?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to make it real quick on the stuff that they were talking about earlier with the rune system.
Sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's unknown and everything, but one thing I did want to say is I hope that they don't put anything in where it changes the god's abilities or anything in any way, because I think that some developers, they don't understand that the players are going to figure out how to break the game or exploit certain things, and gamers are really good at doing that, especially the high-level players. Maybe at a more casual player level, it might be okay, but if it's going to be something that changes the gods in any way, like the abilities and what they do, they will probably, people are going to find a way to break the game, so they might want to be careful with that and causing more balance issues than they already have.
That's definitely one of the things I'd be worried about. Is it's going to be more hard. It's going to be more difficult to balance with runes in it, much less just the straight gods.
Right. Exactly, and that's the only thing that they might want to be careful with. If it's just pure customization stuff, I'm cool with it. Just be careful about it causing way more balance issues than you need. Also, with balancing the game in general, it does suck that some gods you can just pub stomp with and stuff like that. But if you want to have a competitive scene, you need to balance around that. But also with the rune system as well, if it did add like more depth to the game, that's going to make it harder for new players to come into the game and learn it quickly. They're saying they want more people to come in. You can't make the game so complex that a new player can't just jump right in, which I feel like they can right now. I have a new friend that just started, I think, 2 days ago, and he's already got the hang of the game within 1 day of playing, because it's not that complex. The item system, like the item builds, like League of Legends and stuff, you have to combine items, and it's all this complexity, where this is just go in, it's all skill shots, it's something you can jump right into. So if they add too much depth to the game, even though I do like the fact that you could add depth for the competitive side, it might be too much for a new player, and they might get overwhelmed with that. So I'm just hoping that they don't add stuff that'll be too hard for the casual player as well.
On that same note, honestly, this is my first MOBA. I came from World of Warcraft, so I mean, like playing PvP, there was a little bit of a resemblance, and it was easy to pick up with SMITE. But I tried to go and play League of Legends, and I quit the first day.
Yeah,
I cannot. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's.
So we don't want it to be complicated like that as well. So I'm agreeing with you.
Right, exactly. And I have friends that actually quit playing League of Legends to play this, and they heard about this, and they're like, oh man, I hope it doesn't go to that. So yeah, and then also another thing is the esports scene. I really hope they focus on that, and possibly even, I do know that Heroes of New Earth, even though it's kind of dead right now, they did do a thing where they actually had competitions where it wasn't just for the high-level players. They actually split people based on their skill level, and they would split you into brackets of, I think, 15 or whatever things, and you could compete in different levels. So even people at lower levels can compete, and it gives them something to compete for, and they want that. They want be a part of the competitive community, even if they aren't the best top-tier players. So, I mean, that might be something they want to consider as well.
It's like the Silver League tournaments or something from StarCraft.
Right, where you can be in like a lower bracket but still compete, So
yeah.
What do you think about leagues and matchmaking? Like, that's how they would break up leagues. You would earn your way up to the higher league. Giving you, like StarCraft, Grandmaster, Master, Platinum, all the way down in order to keep things separated.
Right. I think that would be a great thing because then you have something to kind of work for. That's I think that's what a lot of people want. Even if they aren't the best, they want something they can still work towards without having to be on the best team.
Yeah.
And with the new ELO system, I'm not sure what they're talking about with the cap. If they're just going to cap the thing when you hit level 15 or whatever. If they're going to cap what you can come in at
they're going to cap what you come in at.
Yeah, they're capping what, like, when you play your first ranked game, you can't be above 2,000 ELO.
Right, but they're going to leave everybody else at, like, 4 and 5K?
I think they're going to do a reset and that also.
Okay. 'Cause I was just wondering about that because I started playing the game. I was at, like, 900 ELO when ranked came out, and I grinded up to, like, 2K, and I can't get anywhere out of that just because of people that are in that range. It's really hard.
Yeah,
and I'll never get up to 4K with everybody else. So
yeah,
I mean they said that they were gonna do a reset. So I mean that was announced almost a month ago. That whenever they did decide to, they would do a reset. So even if they don't do a reset, when they implement the new changes to ranked, they will do a reset at some point.
Yeah, probably. At least before release, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, before release.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Piper.
All right.
We must go. Well, we must go. We must. On to our next caller. Holy crap, we have so many lined up. Thank God they're not all calling me at once, or I would not be able to do anything.
Our next caller is Max. How are you doing today, Max?
How are you doing today, sir?
Matt?
It's that guy.
It's that guy.
So, what is your question for us, sir?
It was not really a question, more of I just want to fall back to the favor thing.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, hey.
Hey.
Viper here from LOW Whiskey. But no, back to the favor thing. I think this is a thing for more the casual crew. I really think that favor, they should add more cosmetic things. Because I think that would be good for the casual people, or people who have a lot of money to spend, because A, it'll get a lot of money for the high-res studios, because people love to spend money on hats. B, it won't overpower people if they decide to spend money on it, because it's just cosmetics. And see, if you have a lot of favor, people want to look cool.
No, I agree. That was my comment earlier, like about any kind of cosmetic changes. I mean, the big thing, as I said before, is like the casuals will drive this game.
Yeah,
your casual gamers will. Those are the masses, and I know that upsets a lot of the high-level players. But I'm sorry, like the masses drive the game, and if the masses can bring in more money for high res. Little things like cosmetic changes and colors here and there, whatever it is, I don't care. That's going to fuel the game. That's going to give us, one, a bigger player base, and two, that's going to give more money to high res to allow them to do the things that we're asking for as a community. So I think it's great, man. Great recommendation.
Yeah. And then even if you can't spend the real money on it.
That's the whole point. There's no downside. Only good things can come of it. So, I mean,
yeah.
It's
and even if you don't want to spend the money on it, you can always just chuck your favor at it. It's like, you know what? I want to play it fully free. It's like, you can, and you can look cool while you do it, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just feel like disagreeing on a point you said there is the fact that, competitive fuels it. Competitive competitive does fuel it. You have to realize that, casual, my bad. Casual does fuel it. But the fact is, a lot of people play the game because of competitive. If you look at League of Legends, they're throwing these $2 million tournaments, or what is it? Yeah, $2 million prize pool, whatever. Because, hey, when someone goes and watches a stream and they're throwing a $2 million tournament, you say, I want to go play this game because I have a chance at winning money. I have a chance of being big. This game, I really want to get good at it because, there's some cool stuff going on.
There's a chance.
The competitive scene fuels the competitive scene fuels the casual scene, which fuels the game.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, I guess it would be more. I'm sorry. I guess it would be more your casual gamers versus your high-level players. Because yes, competitive drives all of us. I mean, all of us try to be better players at this game, and I mean, a lot of people get hung up on the competitive thing. I think it's great. I mean, I agree with you.
The other big thing with casual gamers is you have to have casuals because you have to have viewers.
Yeah.
Viewers view the pro games because they want to get a little bit better, and so they're like, "Oh, what are these guys doing?" And whether or not they're watching it for it's this game between that guy and that guy that's so epic that it's this huge rivalry, they're just like, "I don't care. I want to see what they're building."
Exactly. People come to see for the builds, and then they look at the ranking and go, "What's he building?"
Yeah, I mean, it's, this is the #1 team in the game, and they're building that. Holy crap, I'm building that from now on. Until they patch it, and then I cry. So thank you very much for your call, Max. We must get on to our other millions of calls.
Have a good
Can't
one.
wait to come in the studio with my shirt off.
Absolutely.
Oh, knows. Later.
Only if it's cold outside.
Oh, who's next?
All right, let's go with him. Yes.
Oh, God. Smack Tricks. Smack Tricks.
Please, if you have called us before, send us a quick message. Let us know you are still in queue.
Mr. Smack Tricks, are you there, sir?
Smack Tricks
yes,
Z.
I am.
Z. That's why it's Smack Tricks. What is your question or comment, sir?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit with Lion because he didn't want to talk about the Artemis change. So I wanted to ask him, how would you feel about a movement speed bonus on Artemis's 2? Like her, her attack
speed buff also?
Yeah.
Basically
so give
attack
her a
and
movement
move?
speed bonus.
Oh, God.
It would be a nice for her ability to kite, but I don't think that I'm not prepared to say that change alone would be enough for her. What I'd really like to see is there's 2 routes that Hi-Rez can go, I think, with her. They can either remake her entire kit, start from scratch, ballsy, because she could end up coming out just as bad. Hopefully that wouldn't be the case. Or they could try and fix her kit by making changes like that. I think one of the main pitfalls Artemis has right now, it's twofold. Is one, she doesn't have a way to get out when people jump to her. You can jump right onto her, and if there's nobody there to save you, I mean, you can say, "Oh, I'll throw my trap down. I'll use my boar." Well, trap can be avoided. Can also be cleansed out of by a lot of abilities, or dashed out of actually. And the boar, well, let's be honest, the boar just kind of dies. Doesn't really do much after the early game. I'd like to see if they're going to try and fix her kit, that boar gain and vulnerability, so that it doesn't get killed. And I would also like to see, I think something with her too, a move speed steroid or some kind of, I don't
Dodge.
know, man. She needs something.
No, you can't
I'm scared to say that a move speed steroid on top of her attack speed steroid is gonna help her out, because I don't think that alone would do it. And even with the change to boar, I'm still not sure it would do it. It would be something that would need to be tested, but I think it would definitely be a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, even along the move speed buff, just to go in there, it could be she's immune to slows for X number of seconds, and backing up and strafing doesn't affect her move speed.
That would
be a really
change.
Interesting way to go about it, because it would help her
range
without.
Buff?
Range buff 2 could work if she
Because
uses
right
her
now
2.
every range god in the game has 55 range, every melee has 12. So what if we gave her more range, because she's the only main focused auto attack god? Cupid and on her, of course they focus on auto attacks, but they
have escapes.
Yeah, they have more skills. So what if we gave her more range?
I think the move speed, maybe letting her run backwards as fast as she run forwards would be nice.
I think the key, honestly, is she just doesn't have a dash or jump.
Yeah.
And you take a look at, I mean, honestly, I hate to make this comparison. People rage every time the comparison goes, but take a look at League of Legends, and a lot of the popular ranged ADs have a jump, even with Flash. It's just the whole concept of ranged attack damage, or ranged physical power, as it's called in SMITE, is that you are okay early game. In SMITE, they tend to be really okay early game. And then late game, you're a beast. And you have to be able to survive. You're like the target late game. Everybody wants to kill you. So you need the ability to kind of get in and out, and that's just missing from her. She needs something in that. Most speed steroid would be good, but you can catch fast movers. Kali gets caught. Wukong gets caught. And Wukong even has a jump. So I just think that she needs something to be able to escape. But again, that might be a good change if the boar was a reliable form of hard CC. It's just not reliable late game. It just gets one shot by any AoE ability. Even auto attacks, once you're hitting hard enough, can one shot the boar before it reaches you. And I think that's an essential flaw in her kit right now as well. She basically has a useless ultimate after the early game.
True. Oh, she'll get at least one stun off of it.
So do you want the board to go back how it was in like early beta, where it just like teleported on top of you?
Damn teleporting board.
It doesn't have to teleport, but I think it shouldn't be able to die. I don't think it should be killable at all. I also think it should have a limit on how many times it jumps, because certainly there's a big problem if Artemis drops her boar and it hits all 5 people in a team fight because it can't kill. I mean, it's pretty much, it has like this weird ability where after it stuns you, it like sits there and auto attacks for a few seconds. What? It doesn't need to really do that. Just stun maybe like say 3 people maximum and then disappear.
Yeah.
Or give her a new ultimate, honestly, just throw away the boar.
She rides the boar.
Yep, she rides the boar and shoots her bow.
Yeah, if she had Ash's ultimate, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled to see Ash's ultimate or any global ultimate like that make it to the game.
Hard CC, like an AoE hard CC, I guess, or something like this. Or dash like Wayne, like a little roll with low cooldown, and something like I don't know. It's just like she cannot. She's like the highest damage put in the game by far with the attack speed steroid.
Yeah.
Like, but still, it's like you get like caught off so easy. We tried it many times in the team. It's not possible. Like we tried to set off of a mana and a Guan, like just stand in the face of Artemis and just like try to defend her and like peel her off, but it's not possible. They just dive you and get you.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
the thing is,
I'm
like,
gonna be excited to see the
Artemis
remake. I
so
have a lot
much
of faith in
because,
Hi-Rez.
like,
Hopefully they'll do a great job with this remake.
Yeah.
Or with the buff or change. I guess they haven't called it a remake, so I shouldn't call it a remake. We don't know what's happening, but whatever it is, hopefully it's great.
What were you saying, Peter? Smatrix?
Well, like the thing is, we sort of need another AD carry. I feel like, because at the moment we have Cupid and Anhur. That's the only 2 viable, and like I've seen lately, Anhur gets banned out a lot. I don't know how that will be after they nerf Anhur in the upcoming patch, but still, it's like only having 2 is really it gets boring, and like giving Artemis something. And I think her skill set is actually really good, but it's just like you guys say, like that no escape ability is really what kills her.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Competitive play.
Yeah. All right.
Going
thank you very
back
much.
to the bans in ranked and stuff too, we've only got 2. Those are the ones that are going to be banned all the time. So I mean, like maybe making more or changing them would be a good idea as well for that.
Yeah, that's true too.
But they definitely need to make Artemis a viable AD carry for the future of the game, especially going into picks and bans.
Yeah.
Because as I said, there's only 3. So I mean, and one of them's not viable at all. She just gets smashed on. I mean, she's got to have an escape. I'm really hoping that that's what they'll do in this rework. Give her some kind of escape, because that's, in my opinion, that's the only way you're going to make her viable.
Yeah, that's true. That escape would really fix a lot. So thank you very much, Smatrix. We must move along.
No problem.
All right, on to
our next one.
call.
Holy crap. So
we have
callers.
lots of people tonight. Lots of great topics for our awesome panel here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to run a little long, apparently.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is not a...
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Are you in Australia?
No.
Okay.
England.
Oh.
You fucked it up. Excuse my language.
What?
You're supposed to say yes.
What?
No.
Continuing on. What is your question, sir?
Sec. Let me mute my stream. My question: replay system. Thoughts about it? There should be one. I feel.
Yes, absolutely need a replay system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I want to see some top 5s coming out.
Yep, top 5s. Not to mention being able to review your games, be able to review your games as a team. I'm sure that, the BLGEU guys would love to be able to just go back and look at every inch and square inch of what in the heck went wrong here, what went right here. Same thing for everybody above me. Would love to be able to do that. Not to mention the fact that Alkite and Lionheart would love to be able to cast without having to be there that very minute.
Yep.
They could, be like, oh my God, Juice and BLG and A played today. Holy crap, I missed it. Wait, I have a recording. I can just cast
it. I think they need to perfect the spectating system first before they can even move into replay.
Yeah.
I haven't used spectating. Maybe some of you guys can comment on that have.
Sure.
But I mean, everything I've read from high res is like, oh, it's buggy or this and all that. I mean, is it really that buggy? I guess is my question for you guys.
No, it's actually pretty good. There's a few bugs, mainly with like the refreshing, buffs on the map is the biggest problem, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the skills, like Cupid's ultimate, you can't see sometimes, but for the most part, it's not that buggy.
Okay.
The main problem is Hi-Res has stated on the show before, it takes up a lot of data, or bandwidth and data to send it's, I guess, sending you live the entire map and loading all that at that moment. So sending all that data, is pretty, I guess.
The game is pretty graphically intensive.
I mean, it's not that it's buggy. I don't think it's that buggy, actually. It's
it hasn't
pretty
been
good.
buggy
I don't
since
get
it
that
first
many
came out.
crazy game-breaking bugs. Again, a few ultimates won't go off like Cupid's. Some buffs don't show up on the map. But other than that, it's in a really good condition.
Yeah.
Okay, because that segues directly into the caller's thoughts. You need to have a stable spectator. I mean, all of us know a spectator is going to roll directly into replay in order to allow you to bounce around as a ghost or following someone. But no, I think it's awesome. But I don't think Hi-Res has the infrastructure to support that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting lag issues just playing without even considering that. I mean, I just don't think they're there. I just don't think they have the money right now for it.
True. Very true.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call, Nada.
Wait. Whose birthday is it today? I can see that on Skype.
It's technically it's tomorrow, but it's my birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, depending on your time zone and all that kind of stuff.
I turned 30.
Happy birthday from UK.
Yeah, happy birthday from the UK. We're already old.
I'm already old in the UK. Fancy. All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Our next
I think this will be our last caller. And then
last caller, and then we are done for the night. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a blast. Our last call is Cool Cat. What is your question, Cool Cat?
How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. First of all, hi.
Thank you.
Hi. I could talk about the ruined system, but we already did that. So my question is, I'm a brand new player. I literally started my first 4 games of SMITE last night, but right before I went to bed.
Nice.
And I absolutely loved it. So I kind of have a general question for you guys. I'm kind of seeking some advice right now.
Sure.
The type of characters I like to play are... This is my first MOBA, first of all, so excuse me if I screw up some of the terms.
Oh, go for it.
But basically, I like to play in MMOs and RPGs and all that. I'm usually the glass cannon, mage, nuke, or sustained DPS. Sorry. Yeah. And I'm questioning is I like Rob so far. He's great. He's great to get into the game. But who do I move on to next? I was kind of looking at Hebo and Agni, and I was kind of curious as to any advice that you guys might have had. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Hebo or Agni are both great. Hebo's going to be a bit more bursty than Agni is. Agni's going to give you more sustained damage in general. It can go either way depending on how you build him and how the match goes. But Agni's a bit more survivability than Hebo.
What I've seen is I've seen that ult, and I've seen how that works with those stacks, and I'm like, holy crap, that's genius. But Hebo, and I just see Hebo just wreck people, with that ultimate of his.
Very, very strong.
Wrecks people.
Hebo, I've got a lot of, conflicting advice about. Like, some people are like, oh, he's super hard, play him side lanes, and then some people are like, oh, he's super easy, play him mid lane, and I'm like, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So,
Sayo, do you have any advice?
Oh.
Then Alakite.
Agni, I'd say.
Alright.
Hebo is more like a stomper champion. Like, it's a pure glass cannon. If you survive early mid game, you will just stomp the game anyways. Even when you're not 10-0. This is basically Hebo. With ultimate scaling, the damage his ultimate is doing, it's like a pure glass cannon, and Agni is more in depth, a bit more complex. You can do more stuff with Agni.
It's like fiberglass cannon.
Depends what you like.
Carbon fiberglass cannon.
Well, I guess it's still under debate as to what I like right now, since really all I have is Raw. Like, I just started and I didn't buy a guide pack yet because I wanted to see how I like it first.
Yeah.
But what I kind of want to lean. I like Agni for his ultimate, but at the same time, I like Hebo for just the fact that I think it's his 3 skill, the thing that purse up the water and knocks him up in the air.
Sure.
That just seems like a great harass tool for early game, and it's just like it's so annoying when I get hit by it that I just want to do it to people, you know?
Yeah. Alec, what were you gonna say?
Let's see. What was I gonna say? You know, one, I'm gonna say that, you know, I should. This is again high level. I mean, but
I want to get to the high level because I really like this game. So lay it on me.
I know. I'm just saying, but you know, glass cannons in this game don't fare so well. Like just building glass cannon and nuking people down. As we've seen from Hebo, you know, in the competitive scene, he's not played that much because the fact that he's so squishy. He does a lot of damage. He's really fun to play. You know, he has like crazy ultimate. If you can get tons of people in there, you can do insane damage. But again, at the high level play, he just gets nuked so fast. I would say Agni. He's really fun to play. He's really versatile. You know, he has the cool ultimate charges system. He has a nice little stun. He can get away. I think that just all around, I think he'd be a better pickup than Hebo. Hebo's a nice pickup. He costs less favor, which is also, you know, a huge point. If you're not,
he costs a lot less favor.
Buying your favorite god. But, you know, I think I would have to go with Agni just because all around he's a bit better.
All right, well...
I would also recommend watching various streams. I know Hi-Rez is giving like god packs with like each of their little things this week, so
tune into those.
You may just get all, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Also, you can try out any god in the practice map.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can practice with any of them.
Yep. It'll let you choose anyone you want to try. And you can rent gods. That is also an option.
Ooh.
You can use like I think it's 150 favor or something, then you can play him for 3 or 4 games and try him out.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. All right, well, thank you for the call.
Thank you very much for your call. We must go.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, holy crap, this has been quite an episode. I thank you all very much for joining and sticking around with us, for the love of God. I mean, it's been like an hour and 45 minutes. So we must let these people go and do their other things like sleep
and
you know, different things like that. So we would like shout-outs. Lionheart, would you like to go first, since you probably just want to run after you finish your shout-out?
Yeah. Just want to say thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Keep your faith in the game and in Hi-Rez. They're doing big things, guys, for you. They're reading what you say. I know a lot of their changes sometimes seem odd to you, but just stick with it. See where it goes. And thanks for tuning in the show. Stay with BL Gaming. They are an awesome organization. They've done nothing but great things for this community, so you need to keep in touch. I will be doing some shoutcasting for you guys this weekend. I'm hoping to cover the ESL tournament on Sunday. We'll see what happens with that. I'm also hoping to cover a series of scrims tomorrow night, so you guys can keep an eye on the SMITE directory on Twitch TV for those streams. And thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Then, Sayo, you go next since it's really late. You probably want to go to sleep.
The next shout-out today, shout-out to PLG for being, like, awesome, supporting us in every way, promoting us in every way, to my guys from BLGU, Olaf,
you guys rock.
Salia, Risterian, and Smack. Yeah, they're all sleeping right now.
You're so jealous.
Also, I want to make a shout-out to Choose Gaming for being, like, an awesome competition for us right now.
Yeah.
And BM. Like... the 2 top teams
Bipolar
we have
method.
to face now and worry now. Like, this is what, like, makes the game fun for me, to have teams, like, that are at equal level or even a bit better than you, and you scrim them, you practice against them. Shout-outs to my fans over at Own TV. That watch my stream every day. And just overall big shout-out to every SMITE fan and community member that supports the game here now and in the future. And, yeah, thank you for coming to the show, and have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Post your stream link in the chat so that way people can go there and follow or bookmark it or whatever the heck it is that they do.
All right, Alakite, you are up next.
Yes. He's falling asleep there. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, follow me at Twitch TV/Alakai. I also do shoutcasting. Me and Lion last Sunday did end up dual casting the ESL tournament. It was pretty fun. I just do random, shoutcastings just to help the community grow. So if you have anything, just feel free to contact me some way. And, even if it's a small scrim, something you want to look over your plays, improve, all that stuff. And, keep an eye out. I have some cool projects coming up with different people, and it should be interesting.
Great.
Very awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Very awesome.
And you can also check out bogaming.com, and it will show when he's streaming over on the left.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess we will let Pixie Glow go next. We're going to kind of do this hop, skipping back until we get to Octane in the middle.
Yes, sir. All
right. Give a shout out to my team. We are going to be actually withdrawing from the tournament, so sad to see us go, but
next time.
Yep. And I'm also interested in whenever you guys decide to start a tournament. I heard a little bit about possibly. So
we're working
that
on
will be fun to find out.
We're
no comment.
We'll we will leave the speculation for the speculators.
And shout out to Night Fox's TeamSpeak. My boys Spray and Milkbox are in here.
Yeah.
Or they were. They might have gone. And
yeah.
I want to shout out to your mic for being extremely well at picking you up.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you very much for joining us. Chronix, you're next, sir.
Yeah, big shouts out to you guys here at BLG for having us, for keep doing your thing. You are definitely helping the community at large. We appreciate that. Big shout out to the LOW family. You guys can come check us out at twitchtv.com/LOW Gaming.
Yeah.
Hit us up. And to my homeboy Letters and my homegirl Cheyenne, much love to you guys. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining us, of course. And then Octane Pro, go for it.
So we're going to do 2 shout-outs here. First shout-out, definitely to BLG.
Thank you.
BLG, from an outside perspective, is doing some amazing things right now that I don't think the community realizes. We don't have a central location for the SMITE community right now. And these things aren't formed by the manufacturers or anything like that, like the publishers. It's formed by the community. And BLG is, without people realizing it, developing the scene. And they're doing it for free, guys. You guys get to appreciate it and use these things. So shout out to BLG, and no, they didn't pay me to say that. Second shout out to Team Nemesis, new team in the scene. Nothing too crazy, too amazing, but hey, we're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And shout out to my team.
Great. Yeah, we are welcome to have more teams.
Yes. So if you are a team that is not streaming casted all the time, please do contact me. We'd love to have you on the show sometime.
Yep, and you can also join our ladder so that when people go look at what teams are the best, your name will come up.
Right,
so.
like for instance, how many people know My Revenge is #1 right now?
Yeah, crazy.
Stir it all up. So, do you have any shout-outs there, sir?
Thank you guys for joining us so much. It's been a great show. I love our awesome panel here. You guys are great. Thank you so much for coming. All of you viewers, you can check out our website, blgaming.com. We have forums, we have guides, we have ladder system, we have news, we have all sorts of cool stuff that you should go check out and click all over the place because it's awesome and something good will happen, maybe, probably. So.
Yep. And you can follow me on Twitter, just at Demon Machine. I intermittently say things on there. Of course, everything everybody just said about BLG. I try to do as much as we can for the community. So
also, Demon here is a master mechanic-ish, and so if you have any car questions, you can ask him.
Yes.
He is available on Skype all day long, incidentally fixing cars. So if you have any car questions, he's your man.
Yes, I am. And in approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes, I will turn 30. Congratulations!
You are officially old.
I'm getting old.
Birthday.
Yay. So thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next time.
See you then. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Is that it?